Hey everybody, Vickie Gould here, and like I promised, I wanted to get on and live stream with you guys about some of the questions that I've been getting and about how to write that best-selling book most effectively and how you set that up, really how it looks. So I want to go through the three must-have phases of book writing today and then open it up to whatever questions that you all have for me, because I've been getting a lot to my inbox and even in some of these threads, and I want to just be here to serve you guys today and whatever questions that you have. Hey Shauna K, so go ahead and comment and let me know you're here and who's here and maybe where you're from. Let me hold on a second, I feel like I'm a little crooked here. Let me know where you're from and how soon you want to write your book, stuff like that. I want to get to know you guys so I can answer your questions more appropriately. Hey VJ. All right, so I just want to say how honored I am really to be a part of this amazing community. Hey Stacy, I went to Speak and Write to be around a group of high vibe, energetic people who thought just like me, who really want to grow a platform that they can share their message and really make a big impact on the world, and I am just so, like I said, humbled and honored to be with you all and be able to share with you my knowledge in helping people write books. I have 6 best-selling books of my own. I've helped 48 other authors get to bestsellers, some internationally as well. And, like I said, I've been getting a lot of great questions into my inbox and all throughout. People have been joining my group as well. So it's really cool to see how energetic everybody is. And I hope that I can address all of your questions, concerns, whatever today. So feel free again to say hello, let me know you're here, and type your questions in. All right. Hey, Lisa. I'm going to start with the 3 phases of bestseller business book writing and then answer the questions. And just so you know, I help people to write business books. Hey, Tracy. Just so you know that that's my angle. It's my specialty. So I always come from that perspective. I don't really deal as much in poetry and children's books, although I do have a client currently who is writing a romance novel based on her own life, and it's going to be a series. So it's just not generally what I go for, but a lot of what I apply or teach can be applied to those things as well. Okay, so I have actually created an online course called Easy Writers, a guaranteed Amazon bestseller program, and I'm really known as the words lady because everything I do, from book to business coaching, like helping people with marketing, copy, funnel, emails, and law of attraction, all has to do with your words. So if you ask me questions, I'm going to ask you about your thoughts a lot of times, the blocks, the limiting beliefs and stuff like that, because that is a big part of growing us and growing our business. Okay. Hey, Irene, Adrian, William, Merlana, Gigi. Wow, so many people. I am so excited. All right. So let us jump right into what this is all about. I've got so much to share with you. It could last hours upon hours, but I whittled it down to these important points. And these are the same points that I bring up in my latest bestseller that came out in October called Hit Publish. So the first phase of writing your book is the pre-book writing phase. Okay, this is where you figure out, how does your book tie into the bigger picture of your business? And it's really, really, really tempting to skip this phase, but it's really a must-have if you want your book to convert those readers into clients, right? You want to answer questions like, why am I writing this book? What action do I want the reader to take when they're, when they're reading and after they're done reading my book. You kind of have to reverse engineer it, okay? How do I want the reader to be transformed and changed when they're done reading my book? How does this how does it tie into my business? And what is the strategy and the plan that I have for moving forward with the book? Because the book is not your end product. It's a tool. Okay, so, and who is your reader? This is, the same as your ideal client. So there's a big hint there that your book is going to parallel your business. And you're going to see that as I talk more and more about it. Tracy, so true. Yes, convert readers to clients, says VJ. Seeding, Stacy, we're going to get there, but that's in phase 2. So, now there's generally a couple different perspectives about why you're writing this book. What is the perspective? One is for the reader, one is for you. So there's different reasons, different things that people are going to get out of it. My clients say that, the top reasons they want to write a book is because they want to help people out of a struggle, out of some sort of pain. They want to help them because they know what it was like. They've been there before. And so they are giving this book as a gift to the world, right? To leave their message, their legacy, share with the world, because just like Lisa says a lot, they want to give the world. We want to give the world what we didn't have, the support that we didn't have, the solutions that took us so long to get to. We want to help other people to shortcut that so they don't have to sit in pain, misery, struggle, right? So the top reasons people tell me, because we are such heart-centered, service-based entrepreneurs and coaches, right? We want to help people. We just really want this book to be impactful so that somebody is going to be changed. And a lot of people say, if just one person reads the book and I change their life, that's enough. And I always say, and yes, one person is enough. And we want more than that. I want more than that. I'm pretty sure you guys want more than that too, right? And if I could wrap my arms around the world and help all those people, what a wonderful thing that would be, right? So yeah, it's great to help that one person, impact that one person. But I tell you what, your book, your speaking, your business, whatever it is you're doing, you concentrate on that one person and you are going to help so many more, hundreds and hundreds upon people, right? Gigi says, empower people, right? Irene says, so true. I know this is my reason as well and I want to sell it. Yes, sell it. Tracy says, change and transformation. Well, yes, we want to impact the world. We want our message to have a positive change, positive impact on those people, right? So comment below, if you have any other reasons that you're writing. We're going to talk about next, the reason for you as an entrepreneur. That's the reason you want the reader to read your book, right? Because they're going to get some sort of help. Now there's a reason for you. And Irene already said, I want it to sell. That means you want to make money, right? So a lot of times I refer to authors like us as entrepreneur authors because we are entrepreneurs first and authors secondly. It's part of our tool. It's part of what we have. It's part of what we're sharing with the world, right? We are entrepreneurs first. The book is not your end product. It's actually more like a starting product for people. You're going to write it because it's your tool. Maybe your reason for writing it is to grow your reach, make a larger impact by touching more people. You're going to touch people that you can't even meet, You're going to further your message and your mission by sharing your story and your struggles. And because you're an entrepreneur, I'm going to guess that you want clients, right? Out of that book. You want to convert readers to clients. Right? Comment below. Let me know, right? We know too that our highest service level is when somebody makes a commitment and does an energetic money exchange with us. It's commitment. It's intention. It's what they are setting out, and we are the facilitators to help them navigate that part of their life. And I think a lot of times we feel like we're selfish if we say, I want to make money from my book. I want to make money from my coaching. I want to be a millionaire. You know, sometimes we can be given a little self-guilt, right? Because we want to live this big life. We want to thrive. We don't want to just make enough money to pay the bills. We want to make enough money and send our kids to college debt-free and take that vacation and fly first class, and to be able to have these experiences in life that make us happy, right? Gigi says she'll listen to the replay. Awesome, cool. Yeah, you want to convert those readers to clients. Clients are welcome here, yes. So remember, it's not selfish to say my reason for writing this book is not just because I want to help people. There's another reason purely for me that I want to live my big life. I want to play full out, and I want to have that thriving experience and not just get by, right? We don't want to just survive, okay? Now, here's a thing that I want to tell you about as well. I said that your book needs to parallel your business. So what I find is for those people who are still feeling it out and trying to figure out what it is that they want to show up in the world to be, to help, to, you know, what their specialty, and they're trying to niche down, this is the hardest place to be. If you don't really know what that is, you could say, I want to have a book, but you might not be in a position to really nail down the topic of that book just yet, because the book has got to tie into your business if you want the book to be profitable, right? So, you know, I'm going to give you an example. I had a client very early on, and she initially said, because she was a teacher, that she wanted to help children with learning disabilities to not lose all the things that they learned during school over the summer, right? So that was part of what she wanted to do. So she put together a very short book, and she said that this was her niche. She came to me totally confident, this is what I'm gonna do. I have a heart for kids, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Nicole says, your book needs to parallel your business. Yes, tie into your business. So she thought that that was what she wanted to do. And now I'm not saying that we don't change our minds, because if you know my backstory, I actually was a health and wellness coach because I'm a master herbalist. And we do change, we do transform, and we do have different things that we end up doing. My first 2 books were actually about health and herbs, detox and herbs, that's what they were about. And that's perfectly okay. But my point is to illustrate, she got into it and then she's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. She's kind of like, you know, the parents are a little driving me crazy. I don't want to do this. So she changed, and she was like, you know, I think I'm a relationship coach, because when I help somebody with a relationship, it trickles down into their children. So she changed to be a relationship coach, and she did go through a couple other iterations as well. But what happened to that book? What happened to that bestseller for her? She wasn't able to then use it in her business because it didn't tie back to her signature program. It didn't tie back to the niche that she was using one-on-one, okay? Can anyone relate? Let me know if you've like jumped from idea to idea to idea and you're still filling it out, or maybe you did that earlier on and you're niche down now. Tell me, can you relate to this client of mine? Irene says, at this point, I can't afford to feel guilty about making money. We need to not be afraid to want to have loads of money. I used to be like that, but not anymore. Awesome. I'm so glad, Irene. You know, money is energy. Money loves to flow. And as soon as you send it out into the world, it comes back. Money loves to circulate. Money has no ideas, no concepts of you like we have tied to money, right? It is available and abundant for us, and there is no end to the money. There is no end at all. And who better to be responsible and do good things with money than all of us here in Lisa's group, right? We are very heart-centered. We want to contribute to the world. We have charities. We have things that we can do with that. And the only way that's going to happen is if we make buttloads of money, right? Cool. Tracy says, I did that early as an event planner and then found my love for coaching. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So the pre-writing phase that we were just talking about is all about this setup of your book and connecting it to your bigger vision for your business. If you don't know the answers to the questions, sit and ask for guidance from God and the universe. Be quiet and be still for a while. Sometimes all these thoughts that kind of go through our head makes things kind of jumbled, right? And if you're quiet long enough and ask questions, you will get the answer, right? During this phase too, I advise my clients to write a love letter to themselves. It's actually the first chapter of that hit published book that I was talking about. And write that love letter to yourself from your future self after your books become a bestseller and you know how it's making an impact in the world and you're using it to get clients. Write that letter about how proud you are of all the things that you overcame, that you went ahead and did it, that you pushed through that fear of judgment, of the fear of hitting publish, all those things. It's a future visioning exercise, much like Lisa had shared, and it's a cool law of attraction method. So go 3 months out from your book, all right? Go 3 months out and take a look back. You finished your book. You can feel the cover. You see it. You wake up to appointments. Write that love letter to yourself about all these awesome things that you did with this best-selling book, okay? So that's phase one. The next phase is the book writing phase. And this is really the phase that seems like everyone is concerned about the most. They're just like, let me write, let me write, let me write. But can you see now how if you don't do that pre-book writing phase, that's why people are like, I started writing, I can't finish, I'm not sure what direction to go to, I don't know what's going on. It's because there's no focus. They don't know the outcome. They're not sure about the end goal. And remember, the end goal isn't just your finished book. Don't just get any old book out there. You want a book that's going to work for you, right? Irene says, I've jumped from idea to idea, struggling to just stick to one and run with it. Just like Jenny mentioned at the event, we need to stay focused on one idea and grow it. Yes. Lisa says, I love this, get rich in your niche and then go find another niche. Go to the one that either calls the most to you or has the lowest hanging fruit and go for it. Start doing something. And you can adjust your sales along the way, right? You can tweak and go and grow, because if you do nothing at all, you're going to be at the same point next year. So just do something and go with it. I have plenty of freebies and, free challenges that I've done in my Facebook group that now don't mean a thing. I, had this thing at one time that I thought I was working with mompreneurs. And I put this thing out about balancing life and being a mompreneur. I have 3 kids of my own. They're a lot older now. And then I realized I don't really like that. And I have a freebie about that. And then I have another freebie about discovery calls. I have a freebie about wealth consciousness, stuff like that, that I do give some of that away as bonuses now, but that isn't my niche. So those things aren't helping me to gain my ideal client. And it's okay, you're going to evolve, but just do something, okay? So let's talk about this next book writing phase. This is the one that I said everybody's all about. Let me write it, let me write it. And, a lot of times I get the whole, I have a lot of ideas or topics, I don't know which one to choose, or, it's all muddled up inside my head and I just don't know how to get it out. I know I've got at least one book in there, right? Or it just becomes like this brain dump of thoughts that maybe just don't go together. So here's the thing that I recommend first off, and I specialize in the short read book, okay? That's something that can be read in about 2 hours. Why? Because we have a short attention span. Tell me, when you see a thick book, right? And there's lots of great authors with thick books, don't get me wrong, okay? This just happens to be how I coach and what I specialize in, right? When you see that really thick book and it comes in the mail and you're all excited about the stuff inside, what do you do with it? Tell me, what do you do with it? You really, really, really want to read it, right? And you think, oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be juicy. I need to read it. It looks interesting. And it's going to really help me. But, what's the but? I'm going to have to clear off my weekend, maybe read it when I'm on vacation. Maybe I can do it when my husband's on a business trip, or maybe I can read it when the kids go away for camp in the summer, or read it on vacation when I travel, because I just don't have time. Even though you really want the stuff that's in the book, right? You know it's going to help you with something, but yet you put it off because it looks like it's so big. Yuck, right? So if you want your book to get read, it's much easier to give them a short read, because it's going to be a big bummer if your book is just sitting on the shelf collecting dust because they're like, yeah, it looks great, but I just don't have time for that right now, right? So give focus value, pick a niche down your topic, right? Irene, so I just want to jump in, but never happens. I start, and after first 2 chapters, I stop. Okay, Irene, so let me address that before we go on. You get to the first chapters and then you stop, or you start something and you stop. That's because there's no big compelling why. Why does this book need to get done? Why is it important to my business? Why is it important to me? Why is it important to the reader? When you really connect to that why, and that is a deep-seated, oh my gosh, I have got to do this kind of why, you will continue on. When you stop, it's because, well, I don't really know what the benefit is. I'm not really sure it's going to do anything for me. I'll do it later, right? There's also a little element there, some people have this as well, about the fear of failure or the fear of success. Okay, let me start it. I'm really good at this. People have said I need to share my story or write this book or, blah, blah, blah. But you're scared to fail or you're scared to succeed. So those happen as well. And because I've just brought this up, please do not write a book because somebody told you to. Please do not write a book because all your friends are like, oh, you should write a book. You have a great story. If you don't feel in your heart that you have been called to share a story and called to share your journey in a book, don't do it, because you're never going to be thrilled about it. You're never going to be excited about it. And then your marketing is going to fall flat. Write your book because you really, really, really want to. Okay? Adrian says, it gets placed behind the other 5 I'm already reading. Right, that thick book, right? That thick book is going to kind of just get put on the side. Yucko, right? So, here's another thing. Listen, your book is not your only chance to get every last thought you have in your head onto paper. Now, I know when you're writing your first book, you're just like, oh my gosh, if I could just finish this one book. And I tell you, when people use the process that I help them with in my courses and my one-on-one, they're like, oh my gosh, this was so easy. It was so fun. It was so transformational, because honestly, the most impactful book that you can read is your own. Yeah, the most impactful book you can read is your own. It's transformational. I can't start, I can't start with that as the hook. Hey, you want to write a book so you transform your life? People want other things out of it, but the side effect bonus is it is transformational for you too. And once they figure out how this can be done with ease and simplicity, they're like, oh yeah, I'm ready to write my second one because that was so good for me. So listen, it's not your chance to brain dump every last thought you have in your head and go, oh, I better say this. Oh, I better include this. I know you have a lot of great things to share with the world, but it doesn't have to be all at once. When I was in sales, so I came from a background of sales. I actually sold Cutco knives in college. Then I was a stockbroker, a realtor, a mortgage banker. I did a lot of things. But that was because I was searching and the corporate life wasn't for me, but that's a different story. But when I was in sales, they called that puking on their shoes, where you told everybody all this information and they were so paralyzed over all this information, they did not know what to do. They didn't have a response. And you don't want to do that to your reader, right? Which I also call your ideal client reader, because you want them to be able to solve their problem to a certain level and move forward in their life, right? With your help. And if you have multiple things that you want to talk about that tie together into your business goal, remember, business goal, it has to tie in. Think series, okay? You can write a series of books on different topics. It's perfectly fine. Besides, then you can say you're a multi-best-selling author. Like I have 6 of them, okay? Irene says, I have those fears. That's right. Cool. Yeah, we were talking about the fear of success and the fear of failure. Okay. So now that you have your topic and you know it's a short read, what's next? This is the structuring part of your book. The best way is to chunk it out. It's very similar to the exercise that Lisa had us do at the Speak and Write with 10 topics. So you have your basic, let's call it an umbrella, right? You've got this umbrella topic. You're going to chunk it out into 10 things that you can talk about, 10 important points that you want to talk about in that book. So then within those 10 topics, you're going to have 3 to 5 subtopics. Now, if you're doing the math, that means you're going to have 30 to 50 subcategories, right? So you're going to end up writing like 1 to 2 pages per subcategory, and voila, you know, there's your whole entire book. So in fact, if you can write 1 to 2 pages, so like that's like it's a blog post about 750 words, right? So let's say 1 to 2 pages, that's going to be maybe 2 blog posts or blog and a half, right? If you can do that per day, your book is done in 60 days, less than 60 days, because it's only 50 subcategories, right? So voila, pretty cool, it's done, right? So let me know if that sounds doable to you. Break it down into 10, break those 10 into 3 to 5, and then just write those out day by day. A lot of times we get those awesome downloads at the most inopportune moments, right? Like when you're in the shower, when you're driving your car, or, you know, stuff like that. Grab your phone and, well, not in the car, okay? But grab your phone and just do a voice dictation or take notes or something like that. That's what I do. And then when I go to sit down, I have all these ideas already. Like, oh, wait a minute, I need to put such and such in here. Or, yeah, oh yeah, I need to da-da-da here. So it's really easy when you just like voice dictate them or something like that, so you can remember it for later, okay? So here's the part that people don't inherently know how to do. So creating the content, these subcategories and whatever, it's usually pretty simple once you organize it and chunk it out. And you can probably figure out which stories to tell pretty easily once you know what types of things you're writing about in those subcategories, right? And those stories could be stories from you, from your clients, from your family, from your friends, from your case studies, from famous people. You know, I love to talk about Dyson and Einstein and, you know, things like that. You can share those kinds of stories as well. But here's the part that people don't really know, and it is about seeding. Stacy mentioned it a little bit earlier because she knows, because she's one of my clients. Seeding is a thing we weren't taught to do in English class, right? Because English class, we were taught to write an essay for, you know, English, right? It wasn't for business. It wasn't supposed to upsell the reader. So simply put, seeding is the way that you kind of drop hints along the way throughout your book that you have other programs and products, and the reader can buy those or join in or contact you or stuff like that. And, you know, Lisa is a pro at this. If you just rewatch the live streams, you witness this at the event. Throughout the event, she talked about her programs, which ones would be appropriate if you were at this stage and that stage. We were so excited to sign up. You know, I was so excited I signed up for Global Leaders, right? So this is the type of thing that you need to learn to do to put into your book. And seeding is usually the big element that is missing. And I'm not talking about doing in like this pushy, sleazy, icky way. I'm talking about doing it in a way that is juicy and enticing, and people are going to want to take action and, you know, join your tribe and buy your products and want to coach with you. Okay, so that's phase 2, the actual writing, structuring, and getting it all out of your head. Okay, so let's now talk about phase 3. The exciting bestseller launch and the marketing beyond your bestseller launch, okay? So first of all, marketing your book starts day 1 of writing it. Could even start before you write it, actually. You have to be willing, though, to tell the world about your book and be excited. Get excited about it. It's a big deal, you know? You create the excitement when your excitement is contagious. So just think about the movies, and I always talk about this, you know, like Star Wars. I love Star Wars. They tell you way, way, way far in advance. You know what I'm talking about? Let me know in the comments. I'm not seeing any comments, so I don't know if like I'm talking to myself or if they stopped or I don't know. That happened to me one time on a live stream where I didn't see any comments and people were asking questions and I felt really bad. So somebody make a comment so that I know that that something's still happening out there. So anyways, think about the movies like Star Wars. You know, they tell you way far in advance, they're putting something together, and what happens? We are anticipating it. We are super excited about it. We get more excited as the day comes closer. So go out and create a buzz like Hollywood, okay? Getting to bestseller is a whole strategy, and one thing to remember is that with the strategy I teach my clients, any book can get to bestseller. Any book that follows the plan, just think about it, okay? So bestseller is about marketing, getting people to see why they need to buy it, and selling enough books on a certain day. At that point, nobody's read the inside of your book yet, okay? The inside is what converts the reader. So when people come to me after they're done writing and don't want feedback on the meat and the insides of their books, sure, I can get them to bestseller. It's maybe a little bit of a disservice because, you know, it comes with that, it comes with not knowing if the inside is going to convert or if it has enough in it with the seeding and stuff, right? Nobody has seen the inside. You're really just enticing them. The marketing is what gets them to buy in the bestseller launch, right? So if the inside from phase 2 isn't done right, you can still become a bestseller and your book can completely flop, which is a big fat darn. But I really, really, really want to be very honest with you about this whole entire process, okay? So comment below if that was like a, ooh, didn't really think about that moment, okay? But here's my pro tip. Don't release your ebook on Amazon with your print version at the same time because they compete with each other, okay? They somehow count it as completely different books. I wish they didn't do that. So release the ebook first, and then shortly after that, you can offer the print version. Or even if it's a month later, it doesn't really matter. I mean, don't give them the option the day of your launch, okay? Give them one choice. We're always told this in marketing, right? When you go to a landing page, when you go to a sales page, you only really want to give them one choice, because if you give them too many choices, they inherently, you know, what happens? They end up going for something else, or they click off because there's too many choices and they don't know what to choose. So give them one choice, and that choice be the ebook, okay? So comment that you got it, so I know that you heard, because it's really, that is a really, really important thing. So I'm not seeing people comment, so that's kind of worrying me. Hold on a second. I want to open another window and make sure that I'm not missing anything. Give me 2 seconds, okay? Okay, let's see. I just want to make sure that it's still going. Okay, yeah, so there are comments going on that I am not seeing. So Irene said, oh, wow. Merlina says, or is it Merlina, said, yes, so true. William says, you have us gripped. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so for some reason, what I'm seeing on my screen isn't scrolling. So I apologize for that I'm not seeing all your comments. So hold on a second. I want to kind of rearrange my computer screen, which you guys can't see anyway, but I want to be able to see these comments come back. Okay, Lisa says, got an ebook first, then print. Irene says, is Amazon the first place to go to initially advertise your book? Jay said, just arrived but heard it, got it. Awesome. So this is like really strange that I have to go someplace else to see your comments. So I apologize that I'm kind of flipping back and forth, but awesome. I want to make sure you all got it. Cool. Irene is asking, is Amazon the first place to go initially to advertise your book? I don't advertise on Amazon. Now, there are places within Amazon like Amazon KDP, Amazon Marketing Services, but I teach my clients to do their marketing differently and not rely on Amazon, because just purely having your book on Amazon is one of those things that I had to learn myself that was not going to inherently, Amazon's not just going to go, oh yeah, you have a book, let me share it with everybody that we know. Sadly, Amazon doesn't do that for you. So we create a community that follows you that is going to buy your book, in a nutshell. Okay, so once you've hit bestseller, you have to have this ongoing strategy to continually get clients from your book, right? Because remember that consistency breeds consistency. Even the Star Wars buzz is going to wear off, and you don't want to be a one-hit wonder. That would just be, super, super, super sad. So the thing that you need after you celebrate, after you do all the fun stuff from hitting bestseller, because really you want to celebrate, you hit bestseller, it's going to change your life. I'm telling you, it's going to change your life, because people look at you differently when you say, I have a book. They're like, ooh, really? And then you say you're a best-selling author. They're like, wow. All of a sudden your expertise, your credibility, your authority is just, and they sit up and listen a little bit more. And it's actually really, really cool what happens, because not only does it happen from their side, but the confidence that you have happens on your side as well. And you have the confidence to speak your price. You have the confidence to raise your price. One of my clients, she had 2 books sitting on her computer for 3 years. Kid you not, 3 years. And I'm like, what are you doing with these books? Why are they sitting there? So we went back and revamped, did some things with it, got a cool cover, and launched those both to bestseller that same day. She got 2 new clients and interview requests from her book launch, from becoming a bestseller, like right away. And within 2 to 3 months, she had gone and doubled her prices twice. And now she has 20K packages that she sells. And this is because she has the third-party social proof of her expertise. And she has the confidence within herself that she's worth it. She's also a speaker. So this is also helpful for her in her speaking gigs, because she can go to the back of the room and sell more books. She can offer books at a discount, 200, 300, 500, 1,000, depending on the crowd. And if there's a budget for swag bags, but there's no budget for speakers, you can get paid well from your book being part of the swag bag and speaking for free. Sometimes you can get even paid more, depending on the size, right? So there's so many things that you can do with your book to make money, not just the upsell, but, different ways to get it out there, okay? So after you celebrate, you have the strategy going. The strategy that I really, 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 really promote is the book funnel, okay? The book funnel, it's a must. All right, hold on a second. People are commenting and I'm missing it. Yay, yay, awesome, Tracy says. Irene says that makes more sense. Seems like there is a lot of a secure strategy for your book. Yes, gives you more control. Awesome. Okay, so book funnel, it is a must. It's just, oh my gosh. If you look at all the big dogs, okay, just think about it. All the big dogs have a book. Right? Lisa does, Frank Kern does, Ariana Huffington does, Brendan Burchard does. Brendan Burchard, in fact, has only book funnels, I believe. There are so many different ways to create this book funnel. You can do it to warm leads, to cold leads, to, whatever. And you can create that free plus shipping type of funnel. You can create a completely free and deliver an ebook type of funnel. You can do a paid book funnel. You can do here, I'm going to give you 3 free chapters of the book kind of funnel and upsell them to the rest of the book, and an audio book, and stuff like that. There's so many different types of book funnels, but whatever you do, please, please, please have a book funnel. And whether you are going to run Facebook ads to them, Instagram ads to them, put it on your website, whatever it is that you're going to do to drive traffic, or you're going to try to do it organically and be in a bunch of Facebook groups, have a book funnel. And this part is actually one of my favorite parts, because it's about your copy. And I said I'm so much about words. It's about your copy, your ads, your landing page, your sales page, your email sequence, and all of this, warming them up to you and growing your tribe, and your freebies out there, grow your group. That's how I've grown mine on Facebook. And it's just, this is where it gets really cool, because you don't want to be stuck doing one-on-one coaching for the rest of your life, right? Irene says, first time hearing about book funnel. Can you explain? Yes, hold on a second. So, you don't want to be stuck doing one-on-one forever, because we max out at a certain number of people, right? I max out at 5 book clients one-on-one, but with an automated online course, kind of like, Lisa has her Speaking Right Ultimate Impact. I know I'm butchering it. She has that course that, she's really not involved with. You can just keep delivering it. My Easy Writer course is like that. It's a 12-week program that has a Facebook group and has support through the Facebook group, but I'm not involved one-on-one. You got to have these types of products if you ever want to have the freedom to go travel, to do things, to take a week off, to go to Speaking Right and watch your emails come in with cha-ching 250, cha-ching 250, cha-ching 3,000, and of course you get the other cha-chings, the $5, the $12, and things like that, right? So that's what you want to happen. This is what happens with the book funnel. You put this funnel together and you'll get appointments right to your inbox while you sleep. No more chasing down the client, right? This is the best part. No more chasing down clients. No more feeling that desperation, right? They're now reaching out to you to work with you, right? So like I went to Maui in the spring and I have a bunch of different funnels. Not all of them are book funnels, right? So I changed my schedule for the 10 days that I was gone, and you could only make appointments for when I got back. And when I returned, that funnel that I had created 6 appointments for me to come back to. And that's because I had systems in place, right? So they came right to my inbox while I was gone, while I was on the beach, while I was shopping, right? So bam, that's what you want, right? Shauna K says, guys, if you haven't purchased a copy of Hit Publish, plan on writing a book, you simply must get it. Just do it. Thank Vickie later. Shauna K, you're awesome. So I actually have a promotion right now that I'm going to tell you about, since Shauna K brought it up. So you can get my book Hit Publish for 40% off. It's actually $10 on Amazon, but you can get it for $5.85. If you want to upgrade that to the audio version as well, it's another $7. So when you buy that book, I'll give you the link in a minute, online through this funnel that I created, you will actually get my course. It's a 5-part course called Sell More Books. So you get that bonus. You'll also get my other best-selling book called Why, How to Create a Thriving Business and Fulfill Your Calling in Life. And you will also get an invitation to my training, 3 Critical Steps to Writing a Best-Selling Book, that will get you your next 10 clients. So I will put that link in a little bit later. But because people asked me to explain the book funnel a little bit more, think back to what Thomas shared in the event. Okay, so he was sharing in the event about what his program does with lead pages, or landing pages, I mean. And basically you think of this funnel, right? So at the very top of the funnel, this is where all these clients are going to come in. Usually this is through some sort of freebie. So you've probably seen the Facebook ads out there where it's like, download this and it's free. and then all of a sudden you're getting all these other emails, right? So this is what a funnel does. So one of my freebies is how to get the book out of your head and onto paper. So people sign up for that and they get put into the top of my funnel. Another one that I have is a quiz. Are you a right brain or left brain writer? And people go into the top of my funnel there, right? Then I send them a sequence of emails. Now, funnels can get kind of complicated because you've probably seen like ones that have upsells, which we call tripwires, and I don't want to make it too confusing, but you can have those other upsells in it. The thing is, have a freebie that's really juicy and enticing, right? That puts the people into your list. The money's in the list, right? The fortune's in the follow-up. This is what a funnel does for you. So as they're going through this funnel, they're introduced to your world. You nurture them. You give them more value. You show them who you really are and what you can help them with, right? And out the end of the funnel is where they're purchasing something. Now you can also funnel stack. You can have like funnels here that go off to here. Like the flow chart can get kind of crazy, but funnels is how you automate your business, right? Irene, love your blog. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So when these people go into your system and they're coming out, let's see the end of it, right? Because people are going to unsubscribe, people are going to stop opening your emails, whatever. But the people who are really interested are the ones that are coming out the end of that funnel. And they're going to purchase something from you, whether it be your $50, $100, $500, your $2,000, your $6,000, $10,000, you know, your $25,000 mastermind, whatever it is. That's what comes out the end of that funnel. And this is how you automate your business. This is how you automate those systems so that you have the free time, so that, you know, you see these people are like, oh, I only work so many hours. I don't like, in general, I only take calls Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Fridays, I don't do a whole lot. Generally at this time, I'm having a lunch date with my son, and I told him he couldn't have the lunch date until we were done today. Because he's a senior in high school and he happens to come home by 10:45. So every Friday I clear off my schedule so that I can spend time with him. In the meantime, all these things are running in the background. People are opting into my freebies through Facebook ads and stuff like that. And I'm constantly getting more and more people onto my list. This year alone, and I started my really bigger campaigns in February, until now, I have grown my list by 5,000 people. And I did that with a funnel. Once you have those people in the funnel, that's where you really nurture them, right? You're able to share with them more of the value. I usually invite people to my Facebook group because I do so much there. I'm really contemplating on changing that Facebook group into a paid program, paid membership program, because there is just so much in there that goes on every week. I do like a Monday meditation. I do Tuesday interviews. And then Thursdays I do training. So like yesterday I did a training on editing your book. Okay, so tell me if you have any other questions and if that cleared up the whole funnel thing. I'm going to summarize. While you guys are putting in questions, let me summarize. And at the end, I can put in the link for the book if you want to get it. So phase one, the pre-writing stage of your book, right? So this is where you're figuring out who you are writing for, why you're writing, what you and the reader are going to get out of it. And the big hint is parallel it with your business. Phase two, book writing phase. This is where you are actually going to, hunker down and write everything. In 60 days, you can be done. Write that short read. And if you have more than one topic, do a series. Add seeding to your book if you want to convert that book into a reader, convert that reader into a client, right? Irene says, understand it better now. Can't wait to get the stage. Awesome. Good. And this is how you need to think, right? You need to think long-term. This is where you want to go. And that was one of the biggest mistakes that I made starting out. I had no idea what I was aiming for. Like, I had no idea where this was going to take me. I didn't know about all these systems, and I kind of nerd out and geek out about all this automation because my background is in finance. I actually have an actuarial math degree, and one of the things I love so much was the theory of interest and making money on money that you didn't actually have to make, and not trading time for dollars, and how to annuitize your business by creating passive income streams and by creating ways that you could automate things so you can step away and you don't have to be so involved. I only want to be involved with the things that I enjoy. I want to give off the things that I don't enjoy doing. That might not my zone of genius. It's going to bring my vibe down. I really just don't want to do those things. I love getting on videos like this. I love live streaming. I love getting on stage. And I can't be replaced in those capacities. And I would rather just continue to do this all the time, and everybody else do everything else. Now, I do obviously love to write, and I love to do copy, and I do offer copywriting services for people as well to create their whole email funnel sequence and stuff like that, because I love doing that. And it's funny because people are like, oh gosh, I can't stand doing that. Will you please do that for me? I'm like, what do you mean? I love it. I love it. I can put together a funnel in a very short amount of time. So anyways, Irene, what'd she say? Law of attraction principles for postulating what you want in the end. Yes. Adrian, much better clarity. Rachel says yes, yes. Jay says so inspiring. I'm so glad. Okay, so I got to summarizing phase 1 and phase 2, and I think I went on a rabbit trail. I'm really sorry. So phase 2 was the book writing, make sure you add seeding, and phase 3 was the bestseller launch, marketing, and beyond, right? So the bestseller plan has got to start when you start writing your book. Get excited about it. Really feel connected to your book, your story, and what kind of impact you're going to make in the world. When you really connect to that why, you get it done, right? Create that buzz like Hollywood, Then you'll be able to hit those bestseller goals. Have a strategy in place to use that book later in some sort of funnel. I don't care what kind of funnel you're doing, just please have a funnel so that you can get clients on autopilot while you sleep. Okay, so I'd love to hear now your biggest takeaways, your comments. I'd love to answer any kind of questions you have. And while you're putting those questions in, I'm going to put my link in for the book. But I also want to talk a little bit about law of attraction because Irene put that in there, and that's something that I help my clients with often because it's a big deal. Okay, hold on a second. I can't type and talk at the same time. Okay, so there is the link. It's bit.ly/hit publish and bonuses, like all smushed together, hit publish and bonuses. And you'll get to my sales page, which, you can funnel hack that whole thing if you want as well. Shauna says, Shauna K says, Irene, I've grown so much this year, and Vickie is a great part of that. Stick with her and you'll not regret it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So, when you're writing this book, you really need to ask God, ask the universe, what is it that people need to hear from me? This is one of the things, even in social media posting, when I'm talking to people about putting out your copy, what kind of articles you might want to write, what kind of posts you want to have, what kind of blog things, like I'm not sure what to write. You know what? If you ask, what do people need to hear from me today? And fulfill that, you'll never run out of things to say. People were asking things, and I had a little angel whisper in my ear yesterday to do this live stream. This was totally like out of the blue, wasn't really planning on doing this. But I felt compelled to share and to do these things because I sat and said, what is it that people need to hear from me? And this is what came up. Rachel says, yep, did that last night. Tracy, amen. Rachel, yes, yes. Vickie, yes, yes. And the thing about it is your book is going to call out and call in clients, okay? Whenever you're writing something, whether it be the book or any other kind of copy, your copy is going to repel people and it's going to attract people. And you want it to repel people because you don't want them. That also means that, and this is inevitably going to happen, we all have those questions. Is my book going to be good enough? Is it going to do what I want it? Is it going to help people like I envision that it's going to help people? What if it doesn't work? What if I get a bad review? What if? Okay, all these things are going to happen. There are going to be people who are jealous, who are going to poo-poo your book, your business, your idea, your message, your story. There's going to be people who are like not your client, completely not your client. And they're going to read your book, read your post, read whatever. And they're like, this is a bunch of ridiculousness. But it's because they're not your ideal client, and it doesn't matter. You have shown up in the world to serve those people who are your ideal clients. Those people who are not, they're going to poo-poo you. And it's kind of funny because in my household, we call that a poo-poo platter. So yeah, you have poo-poo platters in your world. Some of them may be family members. Some of them may be close to you. Some of them are going to hurt you. Irene says, thank you, can't wait to work with her. Just might have my book out before end of 2018. Awesome. Yay, yay, yay. Adrian, yes, speak it into form. Yeah. Tracy said, and it's okay. Awesome. 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 Rachel says, love it. Poo-poo platter. Yes. Poo-poo platter. And you know what? Here's the thing too. You're going to end up with these people who are going to tell you that they're going to support your book, that your launch, that they're going to be there for you and all that stuff. And they end up not being there. It's okay, right? We have this. We have each other. And those people, it's more about them than it is about you. Sometimes they're unable. They're not at the right stage of their life to be available to you, even if they love you, okay? And I have a review on my very first book that crushed my heart. And because it was my first book, I thought, oh my gosh, I suck. Maybe I shouldn't have put this out. Maybe I need to delete it. Maybe it's horrible. Maybe, all these fears came up. But what happened was everybody else's review, I started thinking, you know what? But so-and-so told me this helped her to feel better. Because remember, it was a wellness book. So-and-so told me that this was so good and easy for her to read, that it was so helpful for her. Those were the people that I cared about. The person who's like, yeah, this didn't help me any. Okay, well, I'm sorry it didn't help you any. Because you wrote and you are here on this earth for a certain set of people, and that's not everybody, right? Jay says, gotta go, but thank you. You are very welcome. If you come up with anything later, let me know. I'm not seeing any questions, guys, so if there are no questions, you can, if they come up later, you can post them. But, I could probably ramble on for ages and ages and ages. But my son is waiting for me to go to lunch because I pushed off our lunch date by an hour to do this. So, yes, if you come up with any questions later, let me know. Just remember, when you're connected really with that purpose, and I know everybody in this community has such a heart for others. When you're so connected to going to fulfill this calling, this mission, this thing that's bigger than you, right? That's when you get the fire lit up and the passion to go for it. I'll tell you a little story and then I'll let you go. My backstory is of illness. That's why I started out in wellness. So I have chronic Lyme disease. If you don't know what that is, it's like MS, lupus, which I was misdiagnosed with first, osteoarthritis, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, dementia. In fact, I was diagnosed with cognitive disorder. It made me slightly dyslexic as well, and I still have issues sometimes with that. Thank God for autocorrect, because I used to be like some massive spelling queen, and sometimes the letters just don't work for me. What happened for me was for 3.5 years, I spent my time in bed, and I wondered what the purpose of my life was. I looked back on it. I was 40 years old at the time, around 40 when I was diagnosed. And I look back on my life with regrets, all the things that I said I was going to do, all the things that I thought I was going to be. And we as women, sorry, I don't mean to alienate any men, but we as women so much put others ahead of us. Oh, you go ahead, you go ahead, you go ahead. And I always said I'd do it later. I could travel later. I would do this later. I blah, blah, blah. And at a point in my life where I thought there was no future, I thought that this disease was going to take my life, that I was like, I didn't live full out. I didn't do everything that I meant to do. And my kids don't even know me because I'm watching them grow up by the side of my bed. And in fact, I told my sister that if I were to die, I asked her to please, please, please tell my children who I was and what I stood for, because I didn't have the energy to tell them who I was at the time because I was too sick. And all they saw was sick mom who couldn't go to their events, who couldn't show up for their sports, who couldn't go to their parties. Thanks, Irene. I'm 46. So, you know, I just at that point wanted so badly to live out life. And there came a point too where it was a question: do I try to get better and fight the good fight? Do I throw the towel in and just be done with life? Or do I muddle through and just settle for this life that I have from my bed? So that was a turning point for me where I was like, what am I going to do now? And I decided I didn't want to live with regrets, that I knew that I was meant to be somebody in this world, that I was meant to. I used to tap dance in front of Lawrence Welk, which, you know, and at that time it was black and white, and think that I was going to be huge. I was going to be this huge, huge big deal, that I was going to make an impact. I was going to be famous. You know, I didn't know exactly what it was, but I knew that there was some purpose, mission for me being on this earth. I knew deep down that I was not created and born on this earth to come in like a tumbleweed and go out without having made an impact. Tracy says, I do understand. Thanks for sharing. Yes, yes. You know, so it was that made me realize if and when I got better, I would live my life, no regrets. I started saying no to people and yes to myself. I told my husband, you know what, this is me. I tried to be the wife you wanted me to be, and it made me so unhappy. And it made our marriage unhappy as well. And when I decided to be me, he was like, oh my gosh, I like this person so much better. You're so much more fun. You're funny. You're cool to hang around with. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, we've been married for 15 years. Should we not have decided that I could be myself right away? You know, Adrienne says, you're blessed. The universe is responding and your angels are watching. Yes, yes, namaste. Thank you so much. You know, so that for me was just so eye-opening and really got me to look into the core of myself and what I really wanted. And now the cool thing is that I get to help other people. Now, if you remember on stage, I said, leave your legacy with no regrets. My thing is no regrets, no regrets. I joined Global Leaders because I did not want to regret later not joining Global Leaders. I didn't want to put it off until next month, the following month, May, you know, whatever. In my head, I tried to convince myself of that. But my motto is to live no regrets, because regrets is a very, very low vibration to be at. Bitterness is a very bad place to be. Being angry is a very bad place to be. And that's all the things that I was during this time that I was sick. I was so depressed and angry, bitter, regretfulness, you know? Vickie, you're here now helping us. I really appreciate it. Don't cry. Thank you. So I get to help other people to live full out, to live a life of no regrets, to leave their legacy, to share their story amongst the world, because I believe every story needs that voice. Every person, that journey that you have is meant to be shared with somebody, whether it's one, or it's your family, or it's your community, locally, your state, your nation, or around the world. You have gone through something because that something can help somebody else. And it's my pleasure. It is my delight. It's just so heartwarming for me to be able to be there for other people, to write their books and make their impact. I get to exponentially now live no regrets. So that's why I do what I do. And I really appreciate everybody being on. I really do. If you come up with more questions, let me know. Oh gosh, all these are going. Irene, oh no, they're all going too fast. Live in the now, create your future. Yes. Alicia, I met you in the restroom. You have a wonderful, awesome soul, so sweet. Thank you. I was shocked that you had a 20-year-old. Yes, she's 21. Don't look a day over 30. You look great. Thank you, thank you. Love you too. Love you too. Rachel says, right, because you never know who you will bless. Yeah, you never ever know. And these people who read your book, you may never meet, but you've touched them in some way. Irene says, oh, by the way, did Lisa send you the dress yet? Not yet. I'm going to see her in February in San Diego at Global Leaders, and that is when she's going to give me her dress. I can't wait. It has a little cape in the back, and I really love superheroes. Like Wonder Woman is my thing. I have the little Lego. I have the Lego with the invisible jet. It's just cool. I really want the bracelet, the Wonder Woman bracelet, but I just haven't got it yet. So anyways, wrapping it all up, sorry. If you have any questions, again, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you want more information on my one-on-one coaching or my Easy Writer program, which is online 12 weeks, or my book is in the link. I might put it in the actual description of this so that everybody can find it a little bit better. Then just let me know. My website's at vickiegould.com, and I have a Facebook group called Real Deal Entrepreneurs, where I do Monday meditations, Tuesday tea time, and that's usually an interview, or it can be other topics. I do topics where I request and I come up with my own. And then Thursday live trainings. We do that every single week. I would love to have you, or if you just want to be put onto my email list so that you get notifications of what those topics are, let me know as well. Okay? Right. William says, thank you. You are so welcome, William. Ebony says, thanks for the live stream. You're welcome. Irene, wow, you're a kid at heart. Yes, I am. I'm a kid at heart. I love little men and little miss as well. Rachel, this was awesome. Great job. You're welcome. Irene, okay, then I will see you guys later. If you're on my personal page, you'll probably see what I'm having for lunch with my son. All right, talk to you later. Bye.